basketball podcast. This is where indie rock meets the NBA's finest. And today's guest, I'm joined by Lindsay and Mercy, and they are from the band Football, Etc. They're great. They're a Midwest emo band from Texas, and I was a big fan. They were honestly super, I would say, underappreciated emo bands from the 2010s. And they recently re-released their first album, which is called The Draft. It's a great listen. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but it turns out that they're Rockets fans and Spurs fans to a degree. So we'll get to that conversation a little bit. And for those of you watching, you can see my dog pacing around behind me. He's my special guest today. But let's talk about music a little bit. And I really only have one album to talk about. And it's an artist that I mentioned a couple episodes ago. But I wanted to share my thoughts with his album. And I'm talking about Red PK. He has a new album called Horse Like Me. He's from Chicago. And, you know, anyone who is paying attention to the Chicago indie scene right now know that he is actually kind of the unseen backbone of a lot of that music, especially in that twangy realm that we hear from bands like Free Range, Rat Boys, Hemlock, definitely more, a couple more, but you know, that sound of that guitar, that acoustic guitar and lap steel, and what he brings to a lot of those bands, and it really comes through in his new album. He shows exactly why. You know, he's bringing that full alt country lap steel glory to the front, and showing you exactly what kind of songwriting he's capable of. You know, directly from him. And, you know, it's been a minute since I listened to like a really peaceful album. And I think that's what this is. It feels very, you know, comforting. It is that alt country, and it's very soft and it's very delicate. Sometimes it even moves in that like Big Thief realm, but, you know, Big Thief, they bounce around sounds. This, it kind of stays in the same place throughout, which I actually really enjoy. It's very meditative. Free Range also does this a lot, but, you know, that makes sense because he's a member of the band. I think even parts of the album remind me of Howdy. And they're definitely like OGs of this realm along with Pine Grove. Although Pine Grove definitely is definitely more of a full band sound. And I would say Horse Like Me is very much stripped down, nothing but the basics. It's very focused, and it's a very relaxing mood, and I'm really here for it. So, but when I mentioned Howdy, it's like there are things that I occasionally will hear, like the occasional layered sound effect of like record scratching and things like that, and that really reminds me of some of the Howdy kind of elements that come in. But his vocals are definitely quiet. They're passive. They're very non-invasive. His vocals definitely sometimes remind me of the band Sinai Vessel. It's just very simple, and it's him kind of pouring his heart out, you know, straight to the microphone. And it's that kind of twang that you can't escape. But if you want to hear some more of that, and you want to hear the man behind some of your favorites, check out Horse Like Me by Red PK. That's really the only album I wanted to talk about today. So let's get to the conversation with Lindsay and Mercy from Football, Etc. Super excited we got to do this finally. And so like the tip-off question I kind of like to ask people is just starting with some music stuff. I'd love to know what you've been listening to lately.
Yeah, so recently a lot of mixes, masters.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, I've been listening to the new Kim Gordon record.
Ah, nice. That's a crazy album.
Yeah, she's just incredibly innovative and just always doing something new.
I don't know how she does it. And also, like, I did see some clip of someone saying, I think it was like, oh, that her music reminded of like Lil Uzi Vert or something like that. And she's like, I don't know who that is. It's just really funny. But yeah, she's so original. And I think what's crazy with her music is like, it's so different from Sonic Youth, but you can still tell it kind of sounds like Sonic Youth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Anything else you guys are listening to?
I think I'm just such a creature of habit. So I have
Yeah,
my go-tos. The last record I spun was the Kim Deal record, Nobody
nice.
Loves You More. I think that yeah, Kim
Yeah,
Deal and Breeders are just ever present in my ears.
for sure. Awesome. Well, it's been so we're having you on because obviously you guys just released kind of a re-release of the draft, and it's been nearly 10 years since you put out your last album. In general, I know you did a EP in 2022.
Hmm.
I guess what made you guys feel like you wanted to remaster that album?
Yeah, I think we realized it had been out of print for a while.
Hmm.
And in talking with some people about maybe reissuing it, like, you know, someone said, oh, you got to do something different, remaster it, reimagine the art. And so we said, all
Yeah,
right. Finally realized that 15 years was coming up. And so thought, let's do it. So, managed to get the original producer to find the original files on some
amazing,
like, you know, now antiquated device and send over the project and went from there.
awesome. Yeah, it's been really great. Like revisiting it, it sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Um, I have to ask, like, where did the band name come from? Because obviously that album is very, football centric, and at least in terms of the titles, lyrically, it's very different. But is there any like kind of connection there? Or kind of like where does the kind of name come from?
Yeah, so we did the classic thing, or it used to be a thing. I'm not sure if it's a thing bands do anymore, where you flip through a book and you stop on a random page, you close your eyes and you point to a word. Um, it was the second thing we pointed. Yeah, the first one we pointed
Yeah,
to was Sunday's Best, which was already a band.
already
So,
band, solid
but then
band
we got on
too.
football, etc., and we were like, okay, that's definitely not a band already, as far as we
Yeah.
knew. So uh, the kind of American football associated band names kind of started off as a joke, and then we
Hmm.
kind of got ourselves locked into doing it. And then we got into soccer, and we kind of shifted to soccer
Yes.
names instead of the American football, which we were never really very into. No.
Completely different sports. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you gotta separate yourself.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. Yeah, like I said, it's been really great, kind of revisiting that one, and it's funny that you kind of leaned into like even the titles of all the songs, just like going for it. Is that something like kind of like you thought would be just kind of like a funny way to approach it, or
It was easier than coming up with song titles,
sure?
honestly. Like, I think the first song we called First Down, and
Yeah,
then it just went from there where I was like, oh, yeah, I can do this. I didn't realize, how many songs we would have to pick sports terms for. I'm literally
yeah,
looking up, like, you know, informational texts about boards because I didn't know anything about football. So
yeah,
we would always kind of have these running lists of like words that could be applied to a song. And in my head I always make up some sort, like there's a reasoning why each title is what it is, but
hmm
not necessarily super sports related.
right. Lambo Leap's a deep cut.
Yeah, and I think the only lyrics to Mouth Guard are put on a mouth guard. So we were really
Yeah,
more in, living true to our sports reference
right.
lives than we are now.
Yeah, yeah,
We're
awesome.
really leading into it then.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about Hugh then?
Yeah, Hugh is it came to be partly because Daniel, our drummer right now in football, etc. He was living in Austin previously, but he moved out of state. So he's currently living up in Richmond, Virginia. And so it just, it took a lot just to have band practice, right? Somebody had to get
Yeah.
onto an airplane. So um, Mercy and I wanted to, start something that we could practice every week and
Hmm.
play shows around town. And um, so yeah, that was kind of the start of it. We had jammed a little bit with our buddy Mo, who plays drums. Um, just like he during the pandemic, like we had shared a practice space, and so he was somebody who
Nice,
was
yeah.
willing to like mask up and go jam at the practice space. And then I bumped into Chris, who plays bass at a show. It was awake but still in bed. Was playing here in
Mm-hmm.
Houston. And yeah, we just got it together.
Nice. Yeah. Is there anything kind of that pushes it apart versus like wanting to just continue with football, etc.?
I mean, something that's really cool about it for me is, so I play an instrument called a bass six, in both bands. So it's like a
Mm-hmm.
bass with two high strings,
Oh, cool.
like a six string bass with two high strings. And in football, I am like the bass, right? But in Hugh, we have like a dedicated four string bass player, so I
Mm-hmm.
can play more noodly high end stuff. So that's kind of fun.
Oh, that's cool. So you technically do have two basses in the
Yeah,
band.
exactly.
That's
Yeah,
really interesting.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, that's exciting. Are you guys doing any shows? Or are you just working on recording new stuff?
Yeah, we just finished recording. It's going to be coming out. We recorded an LP. It'll be coming out like in August or September.
Cool.
But the singles and the announcements will be sometime in April, probably.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, looking forward to that.
yeah.
That'll be great.
And we played a show last night actually in Houston.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've been
Sweet.
playing some Houston shows and we're booking some, around the region
Hmm.
shows, and then hopefully we'll do a little run of shows around the release of the record.
Yeah, cool. Very exciting. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So the original reason, obviously, having you on too is, just kind of in conversing through Instagram, finding out that you guys are occasionally Rockets fans.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, I guess, maybe it's like a longer story, but kind of tell me how that began. Like, when did you kind of like start getting into basketball?
Yeah, I think we've been like kind of extremely casually following the Rockets, starting maybe like kind of late 2010s.
Hmm.
By the time we had a little bit more free time and a little bit more money to spend on things. Didn't really pay too much attention to any sports like when we were in our very early 20s. Just that was
Yeah.
all band time. But it's just kind of like a precursor to the soccer season for us. So it's like
Hmm.
entertainment before March, and then, March and April hit, and then it's like MLS and NWSL.
Totally.
But this season, I, as a true Houston Fairweather fan, was looking around to see like, are they going to be any good this season? Should I like maybe start paying a little extra attention? And I was like, oh wow, we're getting Kevin Durant. So and the rest of the team looks pretty good. I'm going to
Yeah.
start paying attention to this. And so we really got into it this season, and yeah, along the way, got into the Spurs also by accident.
I mean, hard not to.
Yeah.
When Wemby's playing, it's I feel like, and honestly, it's something I've kind of, I don't know if this is like a kind of a universal thing, but I feel like people who are fans of like the NBA teams in Texas, like they're not afraid to like root for the other teams within Texas. There's not like rivalries that like are that intense that like, to me it's like I would never root for the Pistons, like, like, but I know several Mavs fans who are into the Spurs, and I just feel like everyone's kind of like getting along, which seems interesting. I don't know if you find that to be true.
Um, I think in my head I believed that there were like these deep rooted rivalries, but now that you're saying that, I'm like, it's pretty chill. But like sports fandom in Houston is just like overly chill.
Sure.
Also, like yeah, people are not so enthusiastic. I don't know if it's the heat. I mean, basketball's inside, but people are still pretty chill. So yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
Also, I would kind of distinguish like Dallas is like a very hateable entity for Houstonians, but you can't really hate on San Antonio, right? Like so.
Sure. Exactly.
And
I
then,
think it's specifically a
Wemby's just
Wemby
fun.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think people just like want to watch him play. They don't care. It's not about like the Spurs necessarily.
Yeah.
Although like people respect Popovich and like that whole era of basketball.
That's
But
certainly
yeah,
also part of it, I think. Yeah, there's like
sure.
this kind of like ethical basketball thing about it, right?
Yeah, yeah. Although I will take back what I said earlier. People do hate the Mavs now, and even Mavs fans hate the Mavs now
Yes,
because of the Luka trade.
as they should.
Um, yeah. So, have you guys been to any games?
Yeah, we've been to games. Back, I don't know, like, uh, was it like 10 years ago?
What, Harden era? Yeah, yeah.
Well,
That's
like
like when I was
work,
going to the games.
right?
Yeah.
Like your work had seats. So like we went to a couple of
Oh,
games
nice.
when like I didn't know what the heck was going on, but we like maybe you got them in a raffle or something, and we went to a couple of games. Then it kind of petered out, but then the last couple of seasons we've seen a couple of matches and matches
Hmm.
soccer, sorry. But yeah, it's
I
really
get it. I
fun.
get it.
It's
Yeah.
fun. I mean, it's like going to NBA games is absurd. Like they will
Totally.
not let you think. They will have strobe lights and the camera on the crowd and
Right.
dancing and jumping and throwing, and it never stops.
We
Amazing.
brought
Totally.
our friends, one was from London, one's from Italy, to a game, and they were just like, just bring Europeans to NBA games. It's
Yeah.
it's
Totally.
an absolute delight. They were just blown away. I think there was, they were doing the thing where they're like throwing the French fries into the like the giant French fries into the container.
Everyone has their own take on those kind of games.
It's
Yeah.
just like, what in the world? Yeah, the
Oh.
giveaway was here you go.
No, the giveaway was an oven mitt. Like a Rockets
Okay.
oven mitt, and then
All right.
they were calling it an oven glove? Oh God, it was just so funny. Like why? Why was it an oven mitt?
I'm trying to like come up with a reason. Is it like something about a hot hand, like 3-point shooter?
You know,
I
a
don't
sale
know.
on a promotional like item website. I'm not sure.
Was this recent or was this during the James Harden era?
No, this was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was gonna say James Harden used to do like the whole cooking
Yeah, yeah, no,
kind of gesture.
that's a good connection. But yeah, it's Harden.
Yeah.
Well, oven mitt. Do you still have the oven mitt?
No, no, we don't. We don't. And I think
Yeah,
our
that's
friends
fair.
also like burnt theirs or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like kitchen
I
grade.
don't think I was pretty hesitant to, really put that one to the test. That doesn't
Yeah.
really seem like,
Of all the swag giveaways, that's a strange one.
yeah, I don't know. PPE from like a NBA game doesn't really seem trustworthy.
Definitely. Yeah, so I know one thing you guys were telling me is that you're the drummer from Football James. He was a big Rockets fan. Were you guys into the Rockets as much at that time, or at the time was he like like the resident like big basketball fan?
Yeah, no, he was just such a freak, and we like for the Rockets, and we were just like, yeah, okay, and now I'm looking back and seeing he's got like the cool like old like 90s championship t-shirts.
Oh,
Like he
sweet.
wore them out on tour, it's like so
Yeah.
cool, but and we knew he would sit in the like
Yeah.
the supporters section like
Yeah,
at
the
the
rowdies.
games, the rowdies
Yeah.
and yeah, it all has just kind of been coming together like after the
Yeah.
fact in hindsight where
Sure.
it and it makes me feel like reconnected with him in a new way. Like, he passed away like 7 years ago now. It's been a
Sure.
minute. And I just think, oh man, I wish, James was here to watch this game with us, or that I had gone to a game with him back then,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm sure he never would have imagined Kevin Durant would be on the Rockets.
Oh yeah, no, I would love to hear him like, talking about that. I feel like he also would have loved Şengün because, like I
yeah.
feel like he would have thought he kind of looked like him, and so he would have been his favorite player.
Oh, that's awesome. And yeah, you were also telling me, he was such a Rockets fan, kind of connected to the summit, the DIY event he started. Do you want to tell me about that a little bit?
Yeah, so after his time in the band, he he was the kind of guy who just like, you see a problem, you solve it. And so we would always complain on tour, like, there's no like good, like cool, like DIY venues. here. So he made one and he called it the Summit, which was the name of the Rockets Stadium. Formerly, now it is Joel Osteen's church.
What a change.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was a really good venue and it had a great run. For a time, it was like, you know, if somebody like Japanese breakfast, you know, back before they were big, you know, they wanted to play like a cool show that was all ages. Like that was kind of the place.
Oh, cool.
So he really helped a lot of touring bands and local bands with that place.
That's awesome. Is it still active or no?
It's not. It's not. It disbanded after a few years.
Okay.
And I don't even know. I don't know why it ended. I think because some of the guys, I guess maybe somebody was living there. I don't know. I think they just,
Sure.
they saw it through it and it cycled out of their thing. But he was like building a recording studio in there, and I guess he just shifted it to another place. I did just I looked up the address recently, and it is now like a boutique like event space.
Oh no. Did it get gentrified?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least it hasn't been like bulldozed like a lot of other
That's
things.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah. Are there kind of like, I know in Chicago at least, like DIY venues kind of have like life cycles.
Yeah.
They're very short lived, but new ones pop up all the time. Like,
Mhm.
is that the same case in Houston too?
Yeah, it's similar for sure. And
Yeah.
that's why I was like, I don't even know why it ended. They just kind of cycle out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like right now, we just went to a newer spot just really recently, and it's super cool. So there's a couple new things popping up in Houston now that we're really excited about.
That's awesome. Yeah. It seems like too. So I mean, obviously being in the quote unquote Midwest emo kind of category, do you find yourself kind of befriending a lot of like Chicago bands and like kind of spending a lot of time in Chicago too?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's my favorite city to go to for so many reasons, and all of those reasons are related to the people, right? And then the music that those people make. So, we've definitely prioritized Chicago as a place to play on the few tours that we've done in the
Sure.
US. We haven't toured as extensively as many others, but yeah, I love Chicago. Love a lot of the bands from Chicago as well.
Awesome. Yeah. We got to get you out here for a Rockets and Bulls game.
Yeah, they're playing right now, that.
Oh man, what are the odds? Perfect timing.
Yeah.
I mean, not perfect timing because we're not watching it. But, cool. So yeah, like when it comes to like the Rockets or Spurs or I guess NBA in general, are there any like kind of like moments that kind of stick out as like kind of major moments to you or memories when it comes to the sport?
I don't know that we have anything particularly good as far as like memories for the sport right now. Like I said, like we've been typical Houston fair weather fans,
Sure.
but I expect to have some great memories this moment in Wemby's career. Like when I first I saw the videos and like I was like, what the heck? And then I would see like this is kind of like right before this season, and
Sure.
I was just like, what?
When
And then,
he like shaved his head and he was like becoming a monk.
I mean, even before then, just like some of the crazy highlights from last year or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like so tuned out, I guess, that I like it was all like super fresh. And then every game we watched, and I still feel like this happens. Like he did something crazy,
Totally.
and
Just blocking it, like.
Yeah.
yeah, and then
Or just
he
like
got
barely
injured. I was like,
jumping.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be like, he got injured, like, it's all over, this isn't gonna be
Yeah.
like the crazy breakout, whatever. But then he's back, and like the Spurs are like, what they just clinch, right? Like, it's just crazy.
There's
Like,
second seed. Yeah.
I like, I was really excited that we got to go, to the Spurs Rockets game. And yeah, I just think it's a cool moment in basketball, like where you feel
Definitely.
like you're watching something that's like not going to happen again. And it's cool to
Yeah,
be able to go like to these games right now.
it really is. And I mean, like you said with the injury, is like someone of his frame, you almost expect that he's gonna get hurt. Like even with like Zion Williamson, because he's so like athletic and like big, that you like his knees were not gonna help, and you worry that with Wemby, but he's still not like he'll get hurt, but like he's back pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not expect them to be this good this fast.
Right.
That's the other thing. So it is really exciting to watch.
Yeah, and we have been watching a lot this season. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there was a stretch of it was a good probably month straight that we watched every Rockets and or Spurs game. Like,
Nice.
I mean, I did picture in picture one time, but really, we have been watching. I think we kind of got a little distracted with like, recording an album and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
But I mean, what's memorable to me, like I'm not good at remembering like, oh, and then that play and then in that game. But
Sure.
what I will remember is like this time of us watching these games, getting into it, and then like the games that we have gone to. So,
Yeah.
for instance, we're visiting Mercy's family in the Phoenix area for Thanksgiving, and guess who was playing? The Rockets. So we went and
Oh,
saw
wow.
Rockets Suns game.
Perfect.
So things like that, like, will definitely be staying with me.
That is the awesome thing about sports is I feel like it's not just about like following players. It's like there is like it's like it's also like how a lot of people feel about going to the movies. Like it's a shared experience. Like, and it's not necessarily like you remember the games. It's like kind of like the moments watching games with other people. It's awesome. I do a lot of like we have a Discord for indie basketball, and like sometimes we'll do watch parties where like people just kind of hop online and watch together. So it's definitely a fun community thing to do.
That's awesome.
You're also so with Spurs and Rockets. What are you rooting for more these days?
I mean, we're supposed to say the Rockets, right?
Yeah, sure.
But I do.
I mean, I get it because the
Yeah.
Rockets are like kind of weird right now.
They're weird, right? I mean, it's been a little tough. I feel like the vibes got really negative with I don't know if you saw about the like KD
Yeah,
burner gate. Um,
which amazing like television.
I
you
mean,
know?
great drama, right? But
Yeah.
also, I love it's also nice to just like pop on the Spurs and like see something that's like sick.
Yeah, and people who just like are like on the same like brain waves and just like they almost like don't have to speak, but they like are that good of teammates.
Right.
Yeah, so I get it. I love watching the Spurs. Anytime they're on national games, which is kind of frequent, I definitely love to watch Spurs play. So
Yeah, that's
I
also
definitely
been
get it.
actually like pretty like important for us getting into basketball more this season is that like the NBA or the NBC broadcast. It's
Sure.
so nice and just like
Yeah.
pretty to watch, and the basketball song is
Yeah.
Basketball.
Little John Tesh in our lives.
yeah. Didn't know how much I needed that.
And oh my God, did you see the live performance at the All-Star?
Oh yes.
It was like the
back.
most epic, and it just kept like going and going and going
Yeah.
while they were introducing. They did a whole melody. Oh, that was so cool.
Which is so funny because I feel like I hadn't heard anything from him since probably the last time they were using the song.
Yeah, totally. And I saw some, I don't know, like just standard like NBC News package, leading up to the season when they before it had started, and it was like I guess the return to NBC and the return to using that theme song, and
Right.
I was kind of like, oh yeah, I know that song. That song's crazy. And then now I'm like, they're gonna play the song. They're
Yeah.
gonna play the song.
Just gets stuck in your head, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so great. And it's so interesting because, like, for a good stretch, like, mostly like the 2010s, and like we had like the same sort of like schedule for the NBA. It's like you watch it on ESPN, you watch it on TNT. You had the Inside the NBA TNT, like Charles Barkley and all them. And now this year, or I think last year it technically started, but like the new schedules where you have NBC back and you have like the Amazon Prime, whatever broadcast, and you have all these different people. And I think it's actually breathed kind of like, I was very skeptical at first, but it's breathed new life into it because you have all these new commentators who are actually awesome that like we just got so used to a certain way. So it's really cool to see.
That's
Yeah.
Are you guys also WNBA fans?
Not as much currently, but
Yeah.
I could be convinced otherwise. I think that I am very excited about the possibility of it coming back to Houston. There's been
Yeah.
some talk about you know, the purchase of another franchise and moving it here. So, it was one of the things that I knew about Houston before I moved here, and that, about the Comets. And then as soon as we moved here was like they were gone. So
All right.
like right before we moved here or something. And so I think that kind of put a damper on it for me.
Yeah, because the closest team would be the Wings, right? I mean, Dallas Wings would probably be I think it's the only Texas team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like as we've spoke about Dallas before, that's not really going to be an option for rooting for folks.
It is crazy though. The Comets were like really like the first WNBA dynasty.
Yeah, I mean, just like an absolutely like legendary team, and I think if they come back, like not only will we go, I would be pretty tempted to like get season tickets because
Totally.
I just think it would be so cool to have that like brand name back in Houston to like really like show them.
I think it's cool too because like it would be coming around the same time that like the Sonics are going to come back to Seattle now, and like to have those like honestly two separate historic franchises come back would be awesome. So I know you mentioned this a little earlier on, but in addition to basketball, you guys are big soccer fans.
Huge soccer fans.
Was that the first love?
I mean, look, when the band started, it was called Football Etc. because it was ironic because we were like, we don't want to have anything to do with sports. Like it means nothing. Well, 15 years later, we're like going to every single local soccer match. We're flying across the country to go to U.S. soccer games. We're going to see the Dash play in Chicago. Like, we got into it. We got into soccer around the time of one of the men's World Cups, like the
Brazil one.
The Brazil one. Our buddy Brian is really into soccer, and so they would put it on at like our dive bar that we would hang out at.
Cool.
And then around the same time, they started a women's team in Houston in the NWSL. We got the Houston Dash, and just all these things kind of coalesced around the same time. And we are season ticket holders for both Dash and Dynamo. So we go to
amazing.
About a soccer game a week. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great kind of thing to be doing. It's a great like kind of experience to have, and like it's your outdoor games, and it's like nice to just like be outside and soccer games are fun because it's like I feel like it's somewhere in between like it's obviously nonstop like basketball is, but then like it's also a little like experience wise it's casual like going to a baseball game.
Yes.
Where you're just like it's kind of a hangout.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, and it's like affordable, right? I mean, I think that's kind of like what was the lead in for us. It's like, compared to like any other sport, save the time when like the Astros were really bad and you could just like open up a thing of Coke and it'd be like, you got Astros ticket. But like, it's just like really affordable, really accessible for us to go to those games. So it was kind of easy to get sucked into it.
Yeah, for sure. Whereas, like, I'm lucky if I go to like one Bulls game a year.
NBA
and you did share that one clip of you at the Red Stars game with Julia from Rat Boys. Was Jimmy Eat World also there? Is that what you were saying?
For some reason, they're playing Jimmy Eat World. Like, I guess it was halftime, so they're playing it in the stadium. And we had did we have Houston Dash like ponchos on
Yeah, well, I think we had like
and a flag? Like we
brought
showed
our
up,
crap. Yeah,
brought all the stuff, and on the broadcast like put the camera on us, and then what did they say? Um,
oh, there's some Dash fans
Yeah.
here cheering for their team, I guess, or something like that. Like really weird. Also, that is
Strange.
part of the charm of both professional soccer leagues is that the commentating is like pretty amateurish and hilarious.
there's a spread of like talent level for
Yeah.
Like
sure.
public access broadcasting.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But we've done a
Oh,
couple
that's
of
awesome.
trips with Julia, like like she's come to Houston to go to a game. We've gone to Chicago, and then
Yeah.
Went to Louisville.
we went to Louisville last.
Mhm.
So yeah, we try to get around. We try to link up with them for a game as much as possible.
Awesome. Yeah, she's all over the place. She's like a Steelers fan. She's a Red Stars fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, women's soccer too. So like USA, like US women's
Mhm.
national team, we talk a lot about that with her, and then and Mercy and I have also traveled for US games. Like it's like at this point, it's like, oh, what are cities that we never got to go on on tour that we still want to go to? So like the last US game we went to was in like Minneapolis, and
Oh, yeah.
on to like Atlanta, just
Cool. Yeah.
spots that we want to check out.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I've never like grew up like a big soccer fan or anything like that, and it's always been like I've always wanted to get into Premier League or something like that. It's just never clicked. But why don't you guys try and give me a little pitch on like why I should get into the NWSL?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd say like, you've got, I mean, you can do NWSL or MLS, either one.
Sure.
You've got a team, unlike Premier League.
Yeah.
You have a
True.
authentic tie to a team. I'll give you a pitch for MLS first. All right. So Chicago Fire is the only MLS team that is also the name of a TV show.
True. Very true.
They've been pretty up and down, but they actually look pretty good this year. They beat Philadelphia last weekend, so that's pretty
Okay, all
sweet.
right. Sure. I always love beating Philly. So
Yeah, right. They were like not one of the original MLS teams, but they're pretty close, and
yeah, I remember them.
they've got a
like,
history there.
way back. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're pretty cool. And then, so for the NWSL, I mean, if you're a Chicago Red Stars fan, it's only up from there because they finished bottom of the league last year. But NWSL is really a fun league to follow, and it's because it's small. It's really easy to like
Sure.
be pretty on top of not only all the teams, but pretty much all the players. It's small, but it's growing really fast. So there's pretty often a new teams or some new foreign talent coming in.
Mhm.
Just great for like league drama.
Sure.
They've got one of my favorite elements of league drama is the owner of the Washington Spirit, Michelle Kang, who's like kind of looks like a Disney villain. And she's like building a women's soccer empire with like the she's got an NWSL team and a team in France, and she's like kind of like bringing people from like she's kind of doing some basically soccer insider trading deals. And I think she just signed Trinity Rodman to like one of the biggest contracts ever and some big crazy
It was the biggest contract until like a couple days ago.
changing the rules of league stuff.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Yeah, I think also like in NWSL there's also like as queer women, like you get to see queer women, and like there is like the drama of that too, like who's dating who dated who.
Totally.
Like I don't know, I haven't seen Hated Rivalry, but I imagine like if you're a fan, maybe you would like the real life
Sure,
drama
sure.
of it, you know?
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, my counter pitch is the same reason for the WNBA, actually. Very, very similar kind of like storylines in that, and like who's dating who and stuff like that.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure if the comments came back, you guys would jump. But yeah, I mean, I'm intrigued. I mean, I think what's the best way to watch it? Is there do they usually have like packages with like local kind of channels?
MLS easy because it's one provider,
Great.
Which is honestly sweet.
which is like unheard of, right?
Yeah.
So it's on Apple. It's
Oh,
like a
okay,
package
yeah.
on there, and then it's every single broadcast. And this is
Sure.
related to Messi, I think. Like it's some sort of
Yeah.
way for him to get paid or something.
Right.
And then NWSL is going to be a little more piecemeal.
Yeah.
But there's like I don't know some like channel that comes through like Amazon, and then they do get some national broadcasts on the weekends too,
Sure.
like CBS or something.
I think that the Red Stars are on the same channel that does the Cubs games. I think they're on the Marquee Network,
That's sick.
which is like a channel made for the Cubs, but they're like, we need to have other programming. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's on there, like it's an extra reason to pay for that subscription, maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Nice.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
All
I'm
right.
intrigued. I definitely, especially like going to a game. It seems like it would be a fun experience for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I don't think the stadium's that far from me.
yeah, I think they relocated this year to Chicago.
I think it's like on the south side, but like not. It's like not that far from like Midway Airport. I think that's where it was at least.
Yeah, it was like some really scary, like Soviet-looking concrete thing with a big hole in the ground with a soccer pitch in the middle.
All right, all right.
I think now they might be playing at a college, but I don't know.
Actually, I think you're right. I think they moved further up north, on the north side of the city. Okay.
Yeah,
All
which
right, I'll
it
check it
stinks
out.
that they're kind of getting kicked around trying to figure out
I
like,
know,
where
I know.
home is, but
Yeah.
hopefully they'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, shifting back to basketball a little bit. The last thing I'd love to do is a little game called Build a Band, where I'd love to have you guys try and make a band out of NBA players.
All right.
All right.
So let's hear what you got.
We've got our notes. Okay.
Well, Wemby has to be in this band.
He's gotta.
We love Wemby so much. So, Wemby obviously plays the drums. We see him
Okay.
play a drum every time they win a game, or he's coaching
Yes.
his teammates on how to bang
That's a new thing.
on how
Yeah.
to bang the drum. It's soccer culture. He's bringing soccer
Yes.
culture.
Yep.
So Wemby
It's 'cause
is
he's
definitely-
French. Yeah.
Yeah, Wemby is definitely on the drums. And we'll talk more about what else he does later.
Sure. Yes. Okay. So next up, we have Zion Williamson from the Pels on bass.
Totally.
And
Totally see that one.
yeah, and so he's really good. Sometimes he just kind of sits in a chair and just kind of like just lays down a groove, but you know he can do something flashy occasionally.
Does he sitting in a chair because he's injury prone?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he turns into like a stand-up bass, so you can. It
Yeah.
feels more logical.
Um,
Awesome.
So we thought Reed Shepherd was going to play bass, but it changed to Zion. But we thought Reed Shepherd was going to play bass. I just think something about his like low center of gravity, and I don't even think he's as short as he looks. And even the commentators were talking about this the other
Yeah.
night. They were like, "He's short. No, he's not." And I was just like,
He's just very squat.
yeah, something about it. So since he's not playing bass, he's playing the accordion.
Okay, that's a very Reed Shepherd vibe.
Yeah,
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 he's actually really good at
it's
it.
really good.
Super talented. But
Does he actually play?
I mean, in this band, he does.
Yeah.
But
It
he's
wouldn't
like
surprise
super
me if
good.
he actually did.
He's really good.
He's really good.
I mean,
It's
yeah.
shocking.
in the
Pretty good.
band is like almost like limiting where he can go
Yeah.
because they're just okay, but he's like a
Sure.
virtuoso. Like he
Like
writes it
Weird
well.
Al levels.
Yeah.
Good at accordion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Oh, sure. Dennis Rodman, because why the heck not?
Totally.
Also, Dennis Rodman's daughter plays in the
Yes.
NWSL.
Oh, nice.
Dennis Rodman, let's do guitar. Let's have his hair dyed crazy colors, like different colors every show, like shredding. he they use his face on the flyers for shows, but like sometimes he's not even there,
Yeah.
like he doesn't even show up, but
He went to
so kind of like
Vegas, yeah,
unhinged and it's kind of predictable, right?
for sure. Also, a very nice contrast to the accordion, reach effort accordion. You got to have that balance.
Yeah. I'll be curious if you can start to see where we are going with this, but it might be too regional. I don't know. So we have two ladies to finish out the band here. So we've got Angel Reese on vocals and fiddle. She's also always on the flyer, but
Yeah, totally.
she shows up.
And
Yeah.
she's a Bayou Barbie, you know,
Yeah, that's how they put it on the flyer. It's like
Bayou Barbie. Yeah, where it's like this band with Dennis Rodman and Bayou Barbie.
It's a very intense band. I'm loving this.
Yeah, and there's more. All right, so the last one just came to me yesterday. Cheryl Swoops is gonna play washboard.
Yeah.
I I think in my head the reason why I thought of this, not only because we came up with like the full concept of it, but also because I was thinking about our former former representative in Houston, and she would like show up to events and like play a washboard. So I think about Sheila Jackson Lee, and so I thought we need somebody playing the washboard, and it's gonna be Cheryl Swoops.
And you got the Houston Connect there, so yeah.
Yeah. You got to have a Houston person playing the washboard. So, Wemby also can serve as like a Cajun French translator when needed.
Okay, all right. Okay, interesting group right here.
Have you figured
feels
out what
like
it
a
is?
Gogol Bordello vibe.
It's called Zydeco.
Oh, okay. Not familiar.
Huh?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, you wouldn't be in Chicago probably, but it's this wonderful Cajun genre that includes things like accordions and washboards and Dennis Rodman. So
What is it called again?
Zydeco.
Zydeco.
Do I need to get into Zydeco?
It's pretty chill. Like it's good party music, like
Yeah.
Sure.
I've listened to Zydeco while like kayaking.
Sure.
It's good party music.
It's crawfish season here,
Yeah.
so it's a good
Okay.
time to be in a Zydeco band and to, go play the crawfish circuit.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I just like never really assumed Houston was like that, like Bayou Cajun vibes.
Oh yeah.
But
We have
it
bayous.
is, yeah.
We have bayous. They're disgusting. But yeah, I mean they're literally like just like cesspools of like where the wastewater goes. But
Sure.
yeah, it is. And I think that as a city, it's like the most diverse in the country, and
Yeah.
and just that's the most beautiful thing. But I also think that it may have increased like the influence from New Orleans after Katrina. Like a lot of people left New Orleans permanently,
Sure, yeah. That
and
makes sense.
a whole lot of folks made Houston their home. So
Yeah.
we do have a lot of wonderful, wonderful New Orleans folks and establishments throughout the city.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's the first Zydeco band ever made on band, so love that.
Yeah. Crawfish season is here.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so I gotta start watching some NWSL.
Yeah.
We gotta manifest a WNBA team. in
Yes.
Houston come back. But it's been great talking basketball and soccer and music with you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. Thanks for hanging
Yeah, I
out.
really appreciate you coming on, and I'm definitely giving lots of listens to the draft, and we'll keep an eye out for some Hugh stuff.
Thanks so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys coming on.
All right.
All right. See ya.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks to Lindsay and Mercy for joining. Make sure you check out their reissue of the draft. Keep your eyes peeled for their new album sometime this fall from Hugh. Yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. I want to thank our Patreon supporters for supporting indie basketball, the weather's warming up. We're trying to do some half-court sessions going. So if you want to support indie basketball, we're at patreon.com/indie basketball. Join the conversation. Join us on Discord. We got a great community going. You can find that link in our page information or at indiebasketball.com. We have a couple things in merch still available. I'm working on cooking up some new designs for some merch, but there's a few items left, a couple of t-shirts in smaller sizes. You can find those at indiebasketball.com. Otherwise, follow us on Instagram, on Blue Sky, and join that Discord. Thanks so much for listening. We'll catch you next time.